I never believed in ghosts. Not really. At least not until I saw her. The woman in the apartment across from mine. It started 3 weeks ago. I had just moved into a small apartment in a high-rise building, one of those places that felt a little too empty, even though I knew people lived all around me. My balcony faced another tower, identical to mine, with rows of windows and sliding glass doors leading to balconies. At first, it was just a fleeting glance. A shadow in the corner of my eye. A woman standing in her apartment, looking out. I didn't think much of it. After all, people watch the city all the time. But then I realized something. She was always there. Always in the same spot. Every night at exactly 11 p.m., she stood by her window, staring straight ahead. Never moving. Never blinking. One night, curiosity got the better of me. I watched her longer than usual. She wore a white nightgown, her long black hair falling over her shoulders. Her face was pale, expressionless. It was unsettling, but I convinced myself it was nothing. Maybe she had insomnia. Maybe she liked to stand there and think. But then, she turned her head. Not like a normal person. It was too slow, too deliberate. And worst of all, she looked directly at me. A chill ran down my spine. I quickly closed my curtains, heart hammering in my chest. I told myself it was just my imagination. The next night, I forced myself not to look. I kept my curtains shut. But at exactly 11 p.m., I felt something. A strange sensation like I was being watched. I couldn't help myself. I peeked through the curtains. She was still there, still staring. But this time, she was closer to the glass. That night, I barely slept. Every little sound in my apartment made me jump. The hum of the refrigerator, the distant sirens from the street below. Everything felt louder, more menacing. The next morning, I convinced myself I had imagined it. Lack of sleep, paranoia, it was playing tricks on my mind. But that night at 11 p.m. she was there again. Only now, she was smiling. Not a warm, friendly smile. A stretched, unnatural grin that didn't reach her eyes. And then, she raised her hand and waved. I stumbled backward, my breath caught in my throat. My skin prickled with fear. I told myself I wouldn't look again. But the next night at 11 p.m. I couldn't help it. She wasn't at her window anymore. I let out a shaky breath. Maybe she had finally moved on. But then I noticed something. My apartment door. The handle was turning. I bolted to the door and pressed my weight against it. The knob twisted violently, rattling as if someone, or something, was desperate to get inside. Then, silence. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. A minute passed. Then 2. Finally, I gathered the courage to look through the peephole. Nothing. Just the empty, dimly lit hallway. I locked the deadbolt, backed away, and sat on the floor, knees to my chest. Maybe I was losing my mind. Maybe it was just paranoia. But when I turned my gaze back toward the window, she was there, inside my apartment, standing just a few feet away. Her pale face was twisted into that same sickening smile. Her lips parted, but instead of words, a low, guttural whisper filled the room. I don't remember what happened next. I woke up the next morning on my couch, the door still locked, the apartment exactly as I had left it. But I wasn't alone. In the reflection of my TV screen, I saw her, standing behind me, watching, waiting. I never stayed in that apartment again. I packed my bags and left that very night. But sometimes, late at night, when I look out my new window, I see another building across the street. And I wonder, is someone watching me now? You let me in.